and start the session. So all of you open your R Studio the way we have done yesterday. Okay, so today we will learn a little bit more on the data structure once again. Let me first share my screen now. So because I was also in Australia, so a couple of years, so that's why I asked. Host, can you? I was in Brisbane. But very often visited Sydney.
Oh yeah, that's a beautiful place.
Yeah, that's a beautiful place. Praveen, can you give me the permission to share my screen?
You are co-host, sir.
Yes, now I can share. So all of you can see my R Studio, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's visible.
Okay. So yesterday, what we learned is that what are the vectors, right? And what are the different operations that we can do on vectors. So we almost finished the vector side. Still, there are a few other stuff that we can do with the vector. But as I said, we may not be able to cover each and everything. But these are something which are very important. Which we have covered yesterday. So if this thing is clear to all of you, I think you are good. You're good to go ahead. Now we are going to see one more data structure, and that data structure is called list. Okay, and by the way, the list is very much same as vector. It has slightly different syntax, and one of the advantages that it can store different kind of data like string and numbers. You can store in same list. Okay, can you tell me that what is the function that we have used when we were assigning values to my vector? What was the function when you are assigning? Yeah, please write it in the chat box right now. I would say that when you have to unmute. Yeah, yes, but the answer was right, that we use C function, and that C function stands for what? That stands for?
Combine.
Okay. Okay. Still a few people are joining with phone or a multiple device, so that kind of thing can give some trouble. So now the list also has a function, not concatenate, the C stands for combine. So list also has a function, and that function is called list itself, okay, for assigning values. So suppose I'm declaring a variable, my list, okay, and that my list has few variables or few numbers I'm going to store. So just instead of C function, I will say list, and inside this, I will just store the value. Let's say 1, 3, 4, 5. Let's say not 1. Okay. And 7. The same way that we have done it with this. Okay. Then execute it and say print. All of you, I hope that you are writing with me. My underscore list. Okay. And then you can see the way all the values that are stored in the list. 10 at the first position. Don't see this one because this one stands for that the command is executed correctly. So 10 at first position, second position, third position is 4, 5, and so on and so forth, right? But for some reason, it is printing in a very unusual way, right? Like one after another. If you print your vector, it's just print all the values in one row, and that is easy to visualize. Okay, And now in the list, as I said, the advantage is that you can store, let's say, once again, I'm saying my list underscore new is equal to list. I will store some number 11.3 and my name, whatever we want, we can store and like this, and then say print my list, my underscore list underscore new, and I can see all the values 10, 11.3 and so on and so forth, right? Now, because you have now the basics, so I'll not emphasize more on these things. So this is how you assign. Now, how you fetch item from the list, okay? Fetch items. So once again, we will use what kind of bracket we use when we want to fetch it. Type it in the chat box, guys. What kind of bracket we use? We fetch the item from vector. Square bracket, right? This is the square bracket. So here also we will use the same concept, absolutely same concept. And fetching is same as we have done in vector. So suppose from my list new, I want to fetch the third item. So I think all of you can write it, my underscore list underscore new, and then square bracket 3. And if I say, I'll see Avinash here, okay? Similarly, if I want to go for continuous item, I will say, I'm going a bit fast because these already we have covered. 1:3, right? If, and I normally believe in copy pasting when I'm doing the programming, because then you don't make mistake in the name of the variable or the small stuff like that. Okay, so suppose this time I want 1,3, only these two values. So I can see 10 and Avinash. Okay, this is like the discontinuous items. The other thing that we have seen is except one, I want to see everything. So this is how we can get it. Except two of them, I want everything. And that is like -1, -2. So I will see only Avinash. Okay. So this is how the same thing that we have done earlier. One thing that goes good with list, which is not so good with vector, is that there is append option. Okay, there is append option in the list, and that goes like my underscore list underscore new. Okay, is equal to, suppose I want to append something to my okay, so let's first don't say this. Okay, so append is a function. Append is a function which you can use to append something to your existing list. So suppose my existing list is my list underscore new, and I'm existing with Avinash. I'm existing, appending a city name, Delhi. Okay, so now you can see on the console 10, 11.3, Avinash and Delhi. Okay, but try to print your list. Print your list, my underscore list, my underscore list underscore new. It is still saying 10, 11.3 and Avinash, no Delhi. Okay. So what is wrong? Why it is not showing Delhi right now? Can anyone tell me that why it is so? We need to assign a new variable. Okay.
We don't save in that.
You have not saved it, right? So we have not saved it. So one way is to assign it to a new variable, which I said, but the other way is because I'm appending it, right? So remember that I'm appending, so I will reassign to the same list. Is that okay? And I'm saying this. Okay, and then this. So now Delhi is a part of my existing list. So it is like reassigning it back to the original list. Okay, so once you append and then you reassign, and you all know that in programming, it always comes from right to left, right? So first this append thing will work, and then it will assign back to the original list. So it's more like override. Okay, okay, I'm going slow. Now, what is the error? Print my list new object. So if I told you yesterday also, if it at all saying that this variable is not found, it means that you have not executed. Go back to the line where you have assigned it and just re-execute and print it just to make sure that your assignment was correct. Okay, so this is something that we have done. Okay, now suppose how to remove a value. I'm coming to that. Please, whatever we are covering, please stick to that right now. And if you have any further question, just keep your question with you. And if by the end of the session, if I don't answer, please, you can raise your question now, because it will break the whole rhythm. So suppose this is my question to all of you, that if I want to append couple of values, let's say Avinash Delhi is done. Delhi is done. Suppose I want to add two more city to my existing list. How I will do it? Can you tell me how I will do it? Just run it on your system and let me know. Yes, you are right, Janki, that it is C function once again, but how? And it's very easy. So what you need to do here, you need to say my underscore list underscore new. So hope now you are following me. Append, of course. And then inside append, I will say the existing list name. Okay, so Vinuta, if you have any biological data, and so biological data is not so different. They are either string or number, right? So suppose you want to store the name of 3 proteins in a list, and then later on you found some more protein and you want to assign it back to the existing list. So this is the same, right? So you can change your name with your protein names. Okay, so C function, and then I'm saying, let's say Mumbai, and then Bangalore, C New York, and this and that. Okay, yeah, and I think this is it. Yes, you are correct. Okay. So guys, now I'm just copying it, whatever we have done till now, and pasting it in a chat box. Everything what we have done today till now, though it is not done yet for the list. Yes. Now you can just copy and paste on your our script and see that how it goes. Okay. Now this one question somebody asked, and this is now I'm just telling you that how to remove any item. So removing any item is assigning this item to a value of null, or saying that it is null now. So suppose I'm saying right now my list has 6 members, and I'm saying the 4th member or the 5th member, suppose my underscore list, and you can see that there is always a double bracket, and this is just a syntax, guys, so we need to follow it. And this is assignment, right? So this is not like fetching. This is still assignment, but assigning with null value. Okay, now you print your list and you will see that number 5, whatever the 5 was, I think Mumbai. Okay, so Mumbai is gone from your list. It's no more. Yes. And you can do the same thing with the vector. Okay, tell me if it is yes, no. I'm giving you a couple of minutes because this is just now, or let me just end the list thing and then I'll just take a 2 minutes break. Okay, so this is like removing item from the list. Okay, so when you want to remove, you can only remove based on the index. Like you can always fetch based on the index. So suppose I want to remove the 5th item. So I just have to say the list name, then double square bracket. Inside that, I need to put the index number and assign that to something called null. And null, you cannot write a small null or one small or one lowercase, uppercase mixed. It should be uppercase null. Okay, Vedika, tell me what is the problem?
So this is completely removing that entry and not replacing it with any.
No, it is not replacing with any. Suppose you want, okay. So this is like, please mute yourself. Sadakat, if you are listening me, please mute yourself. Indrani is saying my list. Why you are saying my list equal to 5 equal to null? This is not the way. You just have to say my list 5. See my window. Why is double bracket? Because this is how the list is formatted. So this is like the syntax, guys. So we cannot change it. So single bracket is only for fetching. This is not fetching, by the way. This is like assigning, but assigning a null value. Somebody, Vedika said, suppose right now, if my list has these values, okay, these values 10, 11, 3. Let's say the second value I want to assign with something else. And I will, once again, just in place of null, this time I will say 2 is equal to, let's say I'm assigning a value that is my surname. Okay. And if I print now, you can see that now the 11.3 has been replaced by Mishra. Okay. So this is how you replace it. And the same thing you can do with the vector. Okay. In list, you can also, add to list. Okay, you can add to list of 3 number. Sorry, this is not like adding. This is like concatenating or just adding one after another. So concatenation, in fact, and say list 2 is equal to list and then 9, 10, 12. And once you see, you will understand what is happening. And then you say C, once again, the combine function.
Excuse me, I have a query here.
Yeah.
Every time that you change, like when you had done my list new 2 and then Mishra, and then you had executed it, then everything had shown in your console, like the resulting, what would it be? But when I execute it, it just shows me that statement, and then when I have to print it in order to see it, so
no, so I'm also printing
why
it.
is that this happening?
Yeah, it is because I'm also printing it, but instead of writing the print command again, I just went back to this existing print command on my
So you, how,
52nd line, and I just go there and execute it once again.
okay, so you do not need to write it again, but then having running that will
Yes,
suffice.
yes, because it has been overwritten. So now if you
Okay, let me see. Yeah, but in yours, it's not even showing that now.
okay, so
Can you scroll
I'm
your console a little? I just want to see one thing. Scroll up.
up.
Console,
Yeah,
console.
okay. Yeah, there
Okay,
is
okay.
a
Yeah, yeah,
print.
yeah. Yeah, you have done it. Got it.
Yeah, of
Thanks.
course. Yeah, thank you. Of course, I have done that. I mean,
No, actually,
otherwise,
it's just that things are moving like at a
yeah, bit fast.
pace, and we have to catch
Okay,
up. So some things we do miss.
that's okay. So list one, comma list two, and the moment you say this, it will just, it's like more like appending. Okay, so it's more like appending one after another. Okay, now this is one thing. And you can assign it to a new variable or to the existing, whatever you want. But if existing, then it will override it. Remember that. Okay, so if I say L, and then I have to say print L, I have to say print L, and then I can see it. I can also actually add them if they are numbers. So list one plus list two. Okay, I think list two non-numeric argument to binary operator. Okay. We have list two, right? 9, 10, and 12. No, I think it is not working as it has to. Maybe in a vector, definitely it works, but in list, it doesn't work like this because, as I said, that it takes, combination of data type. So then it is, of course, storing everything not as a number. So that's why it is saying the non-numeric thing. Okay, so this is non-numeric argument to binary operator. So that's why it is not. But in a vector, we have seen it, right? In a vector, you can definitely add. Okay, so what now the next is, I'll just copy this and paste it. Okay, and now I will look at your messages. Like Swati said, after executing replace command, when I printed, it has not been replaced. Okay, Swati, so what you print your existing list right now? Print your existing list. What is that? And just copy paste. So and please do it a bit fast so that we can cover a little bit more today. Combine is this, C is combine. So this is the problem with the list operation, that you may not be able to sum it if you are asking that. Print my list. Yeah, it's fine. My list is fine. So now, Swati, what you want to remove? Just say whatever the item number and equal to null, or replace then equal to whatever the new value. Okay, my list two is fine. Execute it. Execute this line. And then print once again. Print
Okay,
your
sir, I'm doing it. Okay.
So it is done.
So 2 minutes.
Okay. By the way, the single bracket removes the items as well. Linus said so. Okay, if it works, great. But I would not recommend, because then you would understand that every time when I have to fetch, I would use single bracket. And whenever I want to assign, I would use double bracket. Kashish, are you now getting something? It is done. Okay, Swati, great. But I'm asking Kashish, is it done? Okay, what is the error and what exactly you are facing? Tell me that. And after this, so maybe what I can do is whatever we have done till now. Okay, anyway, I'm going to share this code with you. Okay, it is done. Earlier command no working. So Kashish, tell me which one, what exactly not working. And Pratik, please mute yourself. Yes, can you tell me what exactly is not working? My list new commands. Can you paste your command? My list new command. Okay, so Kashish, I think the best way is right now, whatever we have done in list, I'm just pasting it in the chat box. Okay, now you copy everything and run it line by line and see what it is showing you on console. So I just pasted everything on the console, on the chat box. You just go through it and see that how it is showing on your console. Okay, just copy and paste it. Okay, guys, so now, okay, so I will add one more file today. Untitled one. Once again, I will say this time, I will say just where I have, yeah. So this time I would say day 2. Just I added one more, nothing, okay? One more file. Go to file, open a new file is R script, or say Control-Shift-N, both will work, or you just press this plus sign, that will also work, and then save it. Okay, now we are going to do something very, very important, which is called the data frame. Okay, Swati is saying list equal to list this, list 2 is equal to this. What is, but Swati, you have not said this line. Can you see your code? This line is missing. Can you see my screen? N equal to
yes, sir. I have written the line in that. I have written the command, but I have to execute it separately and then run the printel also.
Yes,
That's what
of
you're
course.
trying to say. Okay.
Yes,
okay.
of course.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Shivani is saying x, this is equal to error in x underscore vector. But how comes this vector now? For vector, I think the single one will work. Because in vector, we don't see this kind of syntax, double bracket. Okay, can we move ahead? I want to see your thumbs up or yes, whatever, so that we can go ahead and go to data frame. All of you now pay a little bit more attention. This is something which we deal most of the times, biological or non-biological data, whatever it is. So all of you are ready to go for this new concept, say data frame. Okay, so what is data frame is? Data frame is nothing but a collection of vectors. Okay, collection of vectors. Okay, so just keeping one of the suggestion from one of the participant, I forgot name, sorry, but saying that we can use a biological data. Okay, so let's use the biological data. Suppose I want to store, let's say 3 protein, okay, and I'm calling it as protein is equal to, and this is a vector, and name of 3 protein. Yes, Kashish, very nice. If it is working, all good. Now, guys, all of you are from the life science background. So please give me 3 names of protein. Suggest me or just
Albumin,
please
globulin, and hemoglobin.
paste it. Don't say. Okay. Insulin. I'll take insulin, guys. I got many. And then I will say kinase. Guys, please stop. I got many of the suggestion. Thanks. Okay, kinase.
Casein.
Yeah, casein. Okay. Okay, so casein I will take. Where is that casein? You guys are
Milk
yeah.
protein. It's a milk
Yeah.
protein.
Yeah, it's a milk protein. I know. Okay, casein. Okay. Now, this is the protein name. 3 protein names, right? Now, I want to know. By the way, there is something wrong. Casein we cannot take. I just want to take the human protein. May I take anything else other than casein?
Collagen.
Hemoglobin.
Okay. So collagen is fine. Collagen. Now, the reason I will tell you why I'm taking the protein from the human source. Now, I want its location. Okay, location, cellular location. So I mean, let's not be. I mean, even if it is not correct biologically, it's fine. So insulin is in cytoplasm.
Pancreas.
Yes. And kinase is in. I mean, kinase is everywhere, but definitely, I mean, in cytoplasm. But this is cellular location. Okay, so I just want to change the name. So I'm saying mitochondria. And collagen, where you want me to write, where it could be, and even if it is not, let's make it different from mitochondria. Okay, membrane, that's something different, though it's not. Okay, so membrane. So I have their location. Now, let's say molecular mass. Okay, molecular mass in Dalton. So I really no idea on, because collagen insulin is a very small, like 54 amino acid long, but let's take some orbit number right now. So I'm saying 200 Dalton, and for kinase I'm saying 655 Dalton, something like that, and for collagen I'm saying 100,093 Dalton. Okay. What?
Hello?
Yeah, you are saying something? Yeah, so you were saying something. Can you say it once again? Can you hear my voice? All of a sudden, pin drop silent. I don't know why.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay. Anyway, so let's not get into the biological side right now, even if it is just a number right now. But I'm taking this example because so that you can understand or you can relate it with your cases. Okay. So these are the 3 vectors. But the guy who was saying was very happy and laughing a lot, but now where he has gone. Okay, anyway, now you have 3 vectors like this. Using the 3 vectors, I just want to build a data frame. And for data frame, the function that we use to create a data frame is data.frame. And inside it, I will just take all the vectors name. So what is the first vector? Protein. Second vector is location. And third vector is molecular mass. Okay. So it's saying molecular mass is not found. See guys, this is what you
You need
also,
double S, double S.
okay. Yeah, so now it is fine. So now this kind of things are very common. So now the data frame is created. How does this data frame look like? So one way is definitely to print it. Print my data and see this, okay? Insulin, cytoplasm, 200, kinase, mitochondria, 655, collagen, membrane, 1093. Okay, you can also view your data frame. This view command is only for data frame, not for vectors. I mean, it will run, but it will not show you anything significant. And it starts with uppercase V. It starts with uppercase V. So don't use lowercase v. And then inside this, you need to just type your data frame name. Okay. Okay. But before that, just I'm pasting everything for this data frame, whatever we have done, and just copy paste it on your system and see how it is working. Is it working fine? Till print my data.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now say view my data. Say view my data and say control enter. You will get a new tab which name is same as your data frame name and a table kind of thing. So this is a better view than print. Okay, that's it. It doesn't have anything special. It has a better view than print. So that's why I told you this. Okay, now suppose I want to add one more features to it. Okay, what like right now I have protein, its location and molecular mass. Suppose I want to go with one more feature and saying, let's say amino acid. Okay, so I will declare one more variable. I told you, Hannah, and everyone that view should be starting with uppercase V and you are using the lowercase. Okay, so suppose amino acid, I'm saying the first one has amino acid 52. Once again, guys, if it is not 100% correct, don't go into that detail. We are just taking examples. Kinase, I'm saying, I don't know, 355, and collagen. Okay, collagen, how many amino acid you want me to take for collagen? Yes, any suggestion for this 1200 Na?
550.
1250, okay. Let's not go Na. Okay, so this is the amino acid, or I'll just say amino, and I'm not using any space in between. That can create some problem. So I'm just using amino acids. And now I want to add this information to my existing data frame. So it is like adding a column, right? You are adding a column. For adding a column, the command is cbind. Okay, column bind. And column bind, inside that, my existing data frame and the new column. Okay, so it has added on the console, you can see, but still there is one thing missing, and that is it has added, but is still not assigned it back to my original data. So I will say my data is equal to this. So I will not see anything on the console, but when I, even you don't have to say view my data. You just go to the new panel which you opened last time. You will see a new column. It automatically updated. Okay, so this is how you add. It is like add columns. Okay, and the next is, let's say, add row. Okay, now adding row means what?
R-bind.
R-bind, yes, Gayatri. But
One
adding
entry
row,
for a protein.
one more protein I want. Okay, so adding row is very similar to defining one more data frame and then adding it to the existing data frame. Okay, so but this time, because the new data frame will have only one entry, so we don't have to go through the vector. We can just directly define a new data frame with one entry. This I'm going to tell you that how we can do it. Once again, let's say I'm saying the new entry is equal to data dot frame. So this is, sorry, not this is data frame, data dot frame. So I'm defining a new data frame, and the new data frame should have all the columns value, like what is the name of the protein. So once again, I will, okay, so I'll say protease. Okay, where is the location of the protease? I will once again say cytoplasm. What is the molecular mass of this? I'll say, let's say 900. And then what is the number of the residue? Suppose I'm saying 780. Okay, so this is my new entry. Yes, you can do it with the Excel. In fact, most of the things you can do with the Excel. So this is a very good question Vinuta asked. Not everything, but most of the things you can do in the Excel. But the advantage of this is, in Excel, every time you have to redo it when you are coming with another data set. Okay, but here, once the code is written, you just have to go to the code and just add the new data to it. Okay, so editing your code is quite simple. Suppose if you want to plot something in Excel, so either if you're good with macros, then it's great. But if you are not good with macros, every time you have to repeat the same process. And that is why we have programming. So the first purpose of programming is that if something you do it repeatedly, then you should have a code for it. So this is the advantage of it. So new entry, okay, and after this new entry, once the new entry is defined and executed, I will say R-bind, and in R-bind, I will use my data. And then, and once you start using R, you will not switch back to, to Excel. In fact, Excel, sometimes what happens is there is certain dimension of your plot. Now you want the same dimension, okay? Not the default dimension. Let's say that you get a plot and you change the dimension of that plot. Next time again, if you get this, want the same dimension, you have to do a lot of things, right? You have to once again, minimize it, crop it, or whatever, I don't know. There are many steps, but here you can fix the dimension, fix everything, and you just run the code. It will always give you the same dimension, same color, same font, everything. That's why. Okay. So new entry. Also, once you have 100 data points in Excel, it makes mistakes in filtering. Yes, lots of things. I mean, lots of operation. So R-bind. Yes, we can do that. So just give me some time. we will try to do it. So R bind my data new entry. What it is saying? Do not match the previous names. Is it something not matching? Right, all good, right? Cytoplasm and then 900 and this. Okay, okay. So it is saying the name. Yeah, names do not match with the previous name. So it means that we have to provide the name. So data frame here in this line there is something wrong, and the thing that we have to add is the name of the column. So the name of the columns are, the first is protein. So I have to say protein is equal to protease. Protein column name equal to protease. Location is equal to cytoplasm. And I will just copy it so that I will not make any mistake in typing. And then the last one is amino acid. Yes, Vedika.
So this step that you did, if we save that as C instead of a data frame, then I think the R bind would work, right? Without giving the names, because then it takes, like, it's just adding a vector to the existing data frame. Will that work?
What?
So new entry, instead of writing data frame and in double quotes all the required names, if we do it as vector and then do R bind, will that work?
No, that will not work. That will not work, because that's a vector and you are feeding a vector. So if you remember that the first time when we feed a vector, this insulin, kinase, and collagen, it comes like a column, right? It comes like a column. It doesn't go like this. And we want something as a row, right? So row is only possible when you define it as a data frame, and now it is working. Now, if you can see, we have a protease at the end, and I will just reassign it. Okay. So guys, if you have not done it, or if you have any problem doing it, so I'm just copy pasting everything of the data frame that we have done till now. So you just paste it on your this script and just run line by line. So I'm giving you a minute time. You just run it, paste it, and run it line by line, and you will understand from the beginning. Run it from the beginning. Okay. Now the next thing is extracting the data, like fetching data, the way we were doing it. Yes.
Actually, the console has added the new row of proteases, but the command that we use to view the data, the protease row is not added there. Should I run the command again or what?
Okay, so you are saying that
same problem, sir.
Okay, so let me see new entry. Okay, there is something funny.
Sir, I think my data should write my data instead of new.
Because the name has been changed to new entry now.
Yes. You guys are absolutely correct. I had to say my data. And that's why it is not showing it. So now if I say my data, so it will work. Because I assign it to new underscore entry, something different. So that line was, I mean, not wrong, but logically what we were expecting, it is not that line. Okay?
Excuse me, sir. But then in the second line also, we have written my data is equals to R bind and my data, then comma new entry. Then we have to. So
yes,
now
I corrected it.
Okay. So when I am running this command, my data are bind. So it is giving me error like number of columns of arguments do not match.
So can you just copy paste everything and see that because I have to see very minutely if where is the something wrong. So I just pasted once again,
Okay.
pasted everything once again, and just execute line by line. You won't get any issue.
So actually, after executing this my data rbind command, uh, the protease row is added, but it is also repeated the previous commands of insulin, kinase, and collagen. You can view it in the my data section. Okay, it has repeated in mine.
Okay, so if you run the command multiple times, it will show its effect. Okay, so just run the command once. So if I run once again, it will show its effect. So that's why I'm saying just copy paste and run line by line one time and see that how it is coming out in view. Okay, can we go?
Sir,
Yes.
so how do we undo this?
Yeah, so undoing it is like deleting, right?
Yes.
So I'm coming to that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm coming to that. Okay, so let's first see the extraction. Extraction of data, like fetching your data, is my underscore data. Once again, is square bracket, but it is two-dimensional.
Sir, this time again I am copying the same data, but same command, but same error I am getting.
Okay, so where exactly you are getting error, Divya?
Sir, number of columns of arguments don't match.
My row is not added. Okay.
Rbind the parse dot level and then number of columns of arguments.
Have you executed all the lines?
Sir, I have executed from add row commands. The rest is the different.
Okay, why don't you just stick with what I'm saying? Just copy and paste it and see that is it running, and then you can later on find out where the error is. Because see, if I have to look all the participants' screen, I mean, it is definitely not feasible, right? So that's why I'm saying that the copy and paste my commands and execute it line by line, and then you will understand that where you were doing mistake. This is the only way how we can do it.
Okay, sir.
Okay, please. And Supriya, you also do it, please. Okay, so now let me extract the data. I was waiting for extracting the data. And here the extraction has two things, row and a column, right? So and both are separated by comma. So before comma, if you write anything that represents your row, after comma, your column. So let's say I'm saying one, my data one, comma, let's say 2. So it will give me cytoplasm. So first row, second column is cytoplasm. So that's why it is giving me, right? Now it's very easy, I think. My data, and if I say 1, comma, nothing, if I don't write anything, it means everything. So if I say this, so first row and every column. So first row is this, and every column insulin cytoplasm 252. You can see that it is printing it. Same we can do it. If somebody is not on mute, please mute yourself. My underscore data. Same we can do with the column. So it is saying all the rows from second column. So second column is this location, and cytoplasm, mitochondria, membrane, cytoplasm, right? So this is how you get the rows and column. You can also get the continuous thing that we have done earlier. My underscore data. Let's say I want first row to third row and every column. So only from first 3 row. You can do it all your combination. Okay, so I'm just writing the command, and you can just see the command and see the output. You can easily relate it. So this is what it is saying. It is saying all the rows from first 3 columns. Where is the additional line? Why is additional line? Oh, okay. So that line is just showing the level. So where in what command we have seen that? My data comma 2, this one.
Yes.
So just ignore it if it is there. That is okay. I mean, just ignore it. Okay, I don't see that.
But yes.
Now,
but then why is it coming? Like, what is the difference that I am doing and you are doing that it is scanning?
So that is difficult right now because maybe I have to see it. But for time being, can you just ignore it if it is okay?
Yeah,
because
sure, I can, but I was just curious. I can do it.
Because I have to do the same thing and then I will see that how it is happening, because on my system it is right now not happening. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Okay, and you can also combine this like the continuous way, first 3 rows and first 3 columns data, all different kind of fetching you can perform here, and once again you can use right. So can you do that, the combine thing? Okay, so it is saying I'll just do it for one. Okay, my data and say C function, let's see, 1, 4, and then comma, and then this. So it will print the first row and the 4th row and all the columns. I can also select the columns, say C1, 3. So first row and the 4th row and its first column and its 3rd column, right? So all these are very easy, because once you understand that how we fetch, so that's why you can also use the minus sign that we were doing earlier, right? Fine. So this is something on the data frame side. What we have not covered yet. Okay, so let me also tell you that you can also fetch a complete column if you want to fetch a complete column by its name. So if I say my data $, if you just say $sign, it will print you all the name of the column. Okay, and let's say protein. So once I say this, it will give me all, the name of that. Okay. Now, okay, so can you tell me, can we fetch and view the fetch data in tabular format? Yes, so for that, what you need is, you need to store it. Let's say I store it in temp is equal to this, and then view temp. So something like this. Yes. Now, can we use? Yes, we can import Aditya. I'm going to do that just in a second, if time allows. So the next thing is, can we use the minus sign? So minus sign we have not done. Minus sign, except something, I want everything. Okay. So suppose, and this is quite important in the data frame context, and I'm telling you why. Let's say my underscore data, and I'm saying, okay, -1, comma this. So what does it mean? All of you, I hope that you are looking at my screen.
Take first row.
Not the first row, and except first row, everything, right?
Yeah.
So except first row, it is printing. Okay, Vinuta. Yes, we can fetch it with the cytoplasm location, but for that you have to be with me. Maybe the later session when we are talking about regular expression, we will deal with it. Okay. Yes, so Vinuta is very, very correct on this, that this is like Vedika said, that yes, it is just fetching everything except -1, but in another sense, it is also can be used to remove the first row, right? So how, if I assign it to either to an existing data frame or to a new data frame. So I'm assigning it to the new data frame, new DF. And if I view new DF, so it will not have the first column. Okay. Don't worry about this number. These are just a row number. Okay. So this is how you can remove any column. You can remove any column, right? You can remove multiple column also. Let's say new underscore df, multiple rows, remove any rows. And same with the column, right? My underscore data. So somebody asked that how I will remove it. So this is, so you will get everything. You just have to be patient, okay? So C, and this is like minus C. And then we have, let's say I want to remove first row and second row, third row. And if I view it now, is it not doing that, right?
You missed the comma. After
No.
C.
Okay. Yes. Thanks. Yeah. So this and now this. Yes. And same you can do with the column. So I'm not doing it with the column. So this is how you remove the column and the row. But for column, there is another way. Let's say I'm not doing anything with my existing data frame, just doing with a new data frame, just to show you. Suppose I want to remove this column protein. So I just have to say new underscore data frame dollar protein is equal to null. That will also work. So see, now the protein is gone. Yes. This also works.
So
yes.
I'm getting an error in this view command, object not found. The command with view temp.
Yes, what do you want to view?
Sir, actually both the command that you used, view temp and view new df, both of them are not working. It's saying that object not found.
Capitalize it.
So yes, is it view correctly written?
Yes, I tried both. Yes, uppercase and lowercase. I tried it both.
No, just stick to the uppercase. Uppercase only V, not everything.
Okay, yes, it is not working. Yes, only V uppercase is not working.
Ritvik, your voice is not coming. Can you write it? Okay, guys. So we are already done for the data frame. Tomorrow we will see that how we read a file. So this is right now you are defining everything from your end. But suppose you have an Excel file or you have a CSV file and that you want to read it as a data frame. It is very simple, but for that I need to supply you a CSV file because I want everything on the same page. So maybe new underscore df is not defined, Ritvik. Can you do that once again? You just see new df where it is.
Yes, sir.
And that only be the reason. Okay, so guys, let's stop it here. I know you may have 100 of questions, but we have to stop at some point. So I'll share this day one and day two file with all of you, and then you can just look at it and see what exactly and where exactly if you are doing any mistake. Okay. So now we have to end the session, today's session. Tomorrow we will see if else, for loop, and something more on the data frame. Last code on the chat box. Dollar means, so dollar stands for the name of the column. After dollar, you can name your column and it will fetch the complete column. Yeah, so don't worry, I'm going to straight away send this file and you will get it and then you can see all the code. How much space makes a difference? No difference. I told yesterday also. But it depends. I mean, on equal to, it doesn't make any difference. On sometimes if you defining a variable and putting a space in between, that can make it crazy. No, dollar cannot be used for row. New data frame C, Soumya, what exactly you want to say? Yeah. So C minus, yeah, it looks good, Soumya. Nothing wrong. Yes? Oh, minus sign, it is because we don't want 1 and 3. This is same from the earlier days, last day. In some command, you are adding space before and after. In some command, no space. So, Dr. Forum Vadya, sorry for that mistake, but it doesn't make any sense. And it doesn't make any difference. I mean, maybe randomly it happened. How our compiler app is different from RStudio is not a compiler. RStudio is just IDE. I told yesterday, Aditya, R is a compiler, which is there at the back, which is actually working. RStudio is just giving you the environment where you can work. Thank you, sir. Thank you, all of you, and I hope that you guys enjoyed today and learned also.
Sir, Parveen here. Sir, is it possible? Can you share this R file to the chat box so that immediately I will share it with the participants so that they can catch up if they miss something.
Okay. So both these files.
Files R script file up to session
2
of your module.
Yes.
Overall session 4.
Yeah. So
is it possible
for all the sessions? So this is the first file I shared, .r file on the chat box.
Day 1.
And day 2. And I'm sharing the day 2 also. Okay. Here is the day 2. Okay. So Praveen, you can download it and just share with everyone on their email ID also, because sometimes they don't get it on Zoom.
Sir, we have already created a link where we update all the workshop material.
Okay. So you can just keep it there. You can just store it there and they can get it from there. Okay.
So thanks. Thanks, Dr. Avinash, for your session. I think participants are enjoyed learning with the experiences of Dr. Avinash, and again we are honored that you are delivering on our platform and furthering our cause of affordable bioinformatics and to liberalize the bioinformatics education globally. So with these words, now I seek permission of Dr. Avinash for ending today's session. We will meet again tomorrow with a fresh session with Dr. Avinash. Can I end session, sir?
Okay. Yes, please go ahead. Thank you everyone, and we'll meet tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.